are Vampire Fleet Admirals with Polearms, MERWYRM Slayers in Tides of Torment. While they're certainly anti-large and in charge, this particular video isn't about the traits since they're shared with the other type and deserve serious attention split off on its own, but with Harkon as our baseline, let's dive deep under the waves. On paper it says 1000 gold and 250 upkeep, but in-game the upkeep is true, but it takes something like 1450 gold to animate an Admiral unless you have the tech to cut this by 75%. That is, even previously recruited ones require gold to animate. It's a nuisance. On Ultra, the male Admirals with Polearms come with 4068 health. Armor is 70, which is respectable, and will frustrate attempts to low-tier archer/pistolier them to death, and so will missile resistance, standard 15%. Leadership 75 is entirely respectable. Speed 38 and char speed 44 are by no means bad, certainly when compared to zombies. Melee attack begins at 45 base, attack interval the standard 4 seconds, splash target size large, so trolls on down, and max target splashed of 4. Whether it's good to splash trolls is subjective, but avoids dramatic overkill of damaged units. Melee defense begins at 60. Weapon strength 400 is split base 120, and armor piercing 280, meaning that right out of the coffin, this is a dangerous melee combatant if he can hit at least. Bonus versus large of 25 is substantial and will greatly help him hit cavalry and monsters, so he's disadvantaged against foot lords. Charge bonus is 25 and mass is 600. This lord counts as aquatic. For years, they weren't blessed with properly working charge defense versus large and charge reflection, but they do now. It helps. Causes Fear and Hide in Forest are working for them too. The only mount is the one Legend has railed against for many years, the Rotting Promethean. Now, if you're trying to keep one from being shot to death, it's a larger target and isn't blessed with crab-like ability to move sideways and jink cannonballs. But it does have advantages, so let's go through that. Raising upkeep to 312, health floats up to 4980, armor is now a formidable 120, speed 45, charge speed 60. I checked in game to make sure, and yes, the speed is 45 on the mount. Melee attack goes down to 35 base. Attack interval is a little brisker at 3.8 seconds, splash target size medium, which means Empire Knights on down and trolls are not splashed anymore, and max targets damaged by splash never more than 4. Melee defense remains 60, weapon strength remains 400 with the same AP split, bonus versus large remains 25, and charge bonus is 25, mass is 1500. Now, while there is no charge reflection, the fact that it's a Rotting Promethean lets you have charge defense versus large inherently. If your heart is dead set on splashing trolls, this is a downgrade, but otherwise your real advantages are a bit more melee attack speed, a boost in general speed, and especially charge speed, and 50 more points of armor before items, before other boosts. The mount makes him a siege attacker. In addition to a full and complete magic line, with Evasion and Arcane Conduit, the blue and red lines are exactly as we covered with Luthor Harkon, with the single exception of Guile and Glamour replacing Living Ship because no shipbuilding, and that gives Vampiric Corruption plus 6 at 3 pips. The red line has Avasti and All Hands Sway just like Harkon did for area effect, melee damage, and leadership boosting. There is a single change to the impressive Harkon-esque yellow line, namely Boarding Axe, providing at 2 pips another plus 20% weapon strength, where you had a plus 20% weapon strength in the first several pips, and bonus versus large plus 8 rather than a bonus versus infantry. And that is to say, the capstone is Hornswoggle, the assassin-style hex, not Colossal Strike, as occurs with lots and lots of anti-large lords and heroes nowadays. Top-line goodies are Lucky Charm for plus 15% missile resistance for 1 pip, Tenacity for plus 8% health for 1 pip. Since they are part of the loyalty system, we get into Loyal to the End, available at rank 30. Loyalty will never decline after that. Just so you know, at 3 pips, Mentor will give 50% of XP that would have been gained to other lords. There is no subcategory, it's just lords, and plus 50% hero XP gained within that army. This will be true for this entire race. For the remainder, the Hunger gives its usual benefit of healing 0.1% health per second in melee and melee only for 1 pip anytime. Supernatural Horror grants causes terror and can be picked at rank 5, and unlike Harkon, this mount, which you get at rank 10, does not cause terror by itself. You can only pick one amongst Forger and the remainder, the rest are locked once you pick one. Forger and Smuggler are the same as under Harkon. Poacher offers recruit rank +2 for gunnery mobs and a special bonus versus large +10 for this lord. Arsonist is the same as with Harkon, offering fire resistance +15% and +8% to artillery missile damage, including Queen Bess if your legendary lord is without. So how do we use the Vampire Fleet Admiral with Polearms? While completely bereft of a missile weapon, this lord can take care of himself and is pretty hardcore at that. The main threat to him is being overwhelmed, being shot too much, drowning in too much infantry, just being bled from nickel and dime attacks. He will never have the elite mounts some lords get, but being able to build himself up to bonus versus large 43 before items with a full yellow line containing +40% weapon strength before items means these lords have value, and they bring full unobstructed magic to the extent your specking allows. So it's not that they don't have shortcomings, but they're a good option. I'll use other videos to focus on traits because those got a big overhaul for 6.3, but this gives us a good and solid baseline to work with. Take care and have fun plundering, murdering, and setting cities on fire. All potential traits, you see, but that is for another video.